May 7, 1984. Toxic Legacy. The 1984 Agent Orange settlement represents a landmark moment in American legal and military history. A group of chemical companies, including Monsanto, Dow Chemical, and others, agreed to pay $180 million in a class action lawsuit filed by United States veterans. These veterans claimed exposure to Agent Orange, a herbicide used extensively by the U.S. military during the Vietnam War, had caused severe health problems. The settlement was one of the largest of its kind at the time and highlighted the long-term human costs of chemical warfare. Agent Orange was used by the United States between 1961 and 1971 as part of Operation Ranch Hand. Its purpose was to defoliate forests and destroy crops that provided cover and food to North Vietnamese forces. The herbicide contained dioxin, a toxic compound known to cause cancer, birth defects, and other chronic diseases. Although the U.S. government initially downplayed the risks, returning veterans reported a range of medical issues, including skin disorders, diabetes, respiratory problems, and rare cancers. Many also reported birth defects in their children. The 1984 settlement came after years of legal battles. The class action lawsuit, filed in 1979, alleged that the chemical companies knew of the dangers associated with dioxin, but failed to warn the government or military personnel. The companies did not admit liability in the settlement, but the agreement provided financial compensation to an estimated 52,000 veterans or their families. Payments were distributed based on the severity of illness and duration of military service in affected areas. The settlement also sparked congressional and public attention. It led to increased pressure on the Department of Veterans Affairs to recognize Agent Orange-related illnesses as service-connected conditions. In 1991, the Agent Orange Act was passed, authorizing the Department of Veterans Affairs to presume service connection for certain diseases linked to dioxin exposure. This shift enabled thousands more veterans to receive medical care and disability compensation. Scientifically, the case raised awareness of the long-term health effects of chemical exposure. It encouraged further research on dioxin and prompted regulatory changes in the production and use of herbicides. Internationally, the settlement contributed to the growing scrutiny of chemical weapons and environmental damage in warfare. The Vietnamese government and civilian victims also cited the case in their ongoing demands for compensation, although no similar settlement has been reached with Vietnamese plaintiffs. The 1984 Agent Orange settlement remains a defining example of corporate accountability, military ethics, and environmental justice. It marked a turning point in how the United States addressed veterans' health claims and highlighted the lasting consequences of wartime decisions. The legal precedent established by the settlement continues to influence similar cases involving toxic exposure and occupational health. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. You can own a piece of history.